Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about our global first Garnet BT weapon. We're going to be talking about we're going to go going over what she is going to be getting with her BT effect, that golden buff that she now provides after her BT effect expires. We're going to be talking about her C90 and her rework, specifically what she got in JP, because I know that she is going to be getting a global first LD board rework. So, you know, some things might be different whenever the banner does drop later tonight as I'm recording this video, but I'm going to go ahead and still mention what she actually got, or what she actually got when she got her C90 and rework in JP. Now, one thing that I do want to say is that I know there are players that are happy about what Global is doing for the 4-year anniversary, and I know that a lot of players are upset about what they decided to do for the 4-year anniversary, or I guess for like the Global first, right? Because from what I have seen so far, and things are very heated right now in the community between a lot of people, is that a lot of people wanted a brand new character. A lot of people wanted maybe like a brand new character with LD Oni, whatever it is that they wanted. A lot of people are pretty upset about it. But the purpose of this video is going to be talking about what she's going to be getting with her C90, with her rework, talking about the global first, her BT, etc., etc. So I would like to keep the comment section to this video civil. I would like to not see any huge arguments because of the fact that you're upset or you're happy, or because somebody else is happy, or because somebody else is upset. I would like to keep things civil in the comment section below. So I'd greatly appreciate that, because you know, this video, the purposes of this video is not for that. It's just talking about if she's actually worth pulling for. So thank you for understanding. And with that being said, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. And do let me know how you guys feel about Garnet with her BT weapon and whatnot down in the comment section below. And again, please keep things civil, because I know the heat, the tension right now in the community is pretty high for a lot of players. So, but anyways, though, first thing we're going to talk about is going to be with the C90 and rework that Garnet got when it came to JP. So for her LD boards, her LD, whenever you use her LD ability, basically they made it so that she increases the party's brave gain to 50% of their max brave, and then follows up with a 5-hit AoE magic brave plus an AoE HP attack 4 times instead of the previous 2 times, with an increase in the brave potency of 80% per hit. Now her follow-up, now she also increases the party's brave gain to 50% of the max brave, and it deals the 5-hit AoE magic brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times. So not too shabby. You're getting a whole lot more out of Garnet's LD board rework. Now, the thing that got changed, or I guess like one of the things that we noticed during the showcase, is that whenever you use Garnet's LD ability, she actually recovers 1 use of a skill 1 and skill 2. So that is really, really solid. And I say that because her EX ability, after you use it, gives a free ability use to her skill 1 and skill 2. Now that her LD ability is able to recover uses of her skill 1 and skill 2, that extends her longevity by a very good amount. So that's, in my opinion, that was a really good decision on their end to bring this to global. Now her skill 2 did get an additional 3 more uses, or 4 uses in total if you include the previous rework she had in the past. And now it becomes a 6-hit AoE Thunder Magic Brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times. And she does increase the amount of brave damage when going up against a single target. Her other skill is also got additional uses to it as well. But this one, the big difference between this skill and the other skill is that with it being a 6-hit AoE Water Magic Brave plus an AoE HP attack 2 times, the thing is she recovers Brave after the first HP attack, and she also recovers Party Brave by 50% of the HP damage dealt. So it's not too bad. So she batteries the party with her Aquamarine ability compared to the Thunder ability that she has in her kit. So not too shabby. The Thunder ability or her skill 1, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let me check that out before you guys get on my butt about that. So yeah, her skill 1 is able to battery the party with her attack, while her skill 2 is more leaning towards the damage aspect. Now, when it comes to her EX with her with her extensions, basically her C90, right? So with this, with her C90, she increases the party's HP heal by 90% of the max HP, and she increases the party's Brave gain to 100% of the max Brave, and it also allows for 200% gained max Brave overflow. Now, Holy Guardian is no longer granted. The effects are now added to the Holy Prayer buff. Now, the Holy Prayer buff, with the extension and everything like that, now provides an attacker for Garnet and an HP damage up by 10% to herself. Now, while Garnet has the Water Dragon buff active and the Holy Prayer buff active, she now adds party Brave gains up by 10%. But if she has the Thunder Zora and the Holy Prayer buff active, she adds party Brave damage up. So it really just depends on what exactly you got going on. If you want more Brave gains up for the party or more party Brave damage up, you really can't go wrong with either of the two, to be honest with you. And for Garnet only, she adds Stolen Max Brave Overflow up by 80%, which is really, really nice. So yeah, I really like this a lot. It really does bring more variety to what she actually now provides with her EX buff. So it's really good, actually, when you look at it. Then when it comes to her C65 got extended by 2 turns, not being 7, and it now adds Brave regen by 40% of her initial Brave, and party Brave gains up by 10%, and party gained max Brave overflow up by 10%. So pretty solid change to her C65. Now let's talk about her BT. So her BT Divine Judgment is an 8-hit group magic Brave plus a group HP attack 2 times. So she'll be able to deal up to 1 mil in damage, and she is able to recover her Brave based on 50% of the HP damage dealt on the first HP attack. So more than likely, she will be hitting that 1 mil damage. Now, her burst effect lasts for 8 turns, and this BT effect provides the party with Brave gains up 30%, HP damage cap up 30%, attack 50%, initial Brave 50%, Brave damage up 50%, HP damage up 20%, gained overflow up 30%, and she is also able to now refund the amount, or she is able to refund Brave based on the total HP damage dealt at the end of their turn by 30%. So she has a bot effect within her BT effect. And whenever this BT effect expires, it triggers an attack called Immaculate Judgment. So this removes party's debuffs. It grants the party Brave based on 100% of the max Brave, or if you BT plus it, it'll be a 200% overflow. So that is a good amount of Brave that is going to be granted to the party. Then it follows up with a 5-hit group magic Brave plus a group HP attack with 4 HP dumps in total, with a Brave damage limit increase by 50%, or the Brave hits will deal up to 14,998. It does hold on to the Brave with an HP damage cap up of 50%. So the damage between these 4 HP dumps, or each of these HP dumps, can be up to 149,998, which is really, really good. That is a very good amount of damage that this BT attack can actually deal. I guess like the expiration attack. It also is able to recover 20% Brave in between those HP attacks based on the total damage after the, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I read that incorrectly. So the Brave, 20% total HP damage after the last HP attack, right? And the party gets granted, including Garnet herself, a 6-turn gold frame debuff called Immaculate Judgment. Now, this buff is almost the exact same thing as a BT effect, except that it does not have Brave gains or HP damage limit up. So when you look at this BT effect and the golden frame debuff, these are very supportive buffs or auras, whatever you want to go with it, that really benefits the team so much. And the thing is though, like the golden buff and the BT effect, guess what? They stack, which is really good. Why? Because that is going to be a 100% attack up, a 100% initial brave up, a 100% brave damage up, a 40% HP damage up, 30% overflow or gained overflow, and then that brave refund, instead of it being 30%, it's going to be 60% if you do have both of these things active, which is really, really good. Now, when you look at it, if you don't plan on stacking these two things together, even if the burst effect does go off, or if it expires, right, you still have access to practically almost the same thing from that golden buff, except that you won't have the HP damage cap up and the brave gains up. But even if you don't have that, that is still a really good buff to have on your teammates, because that's just supportive buffs. And remember, one thing to know is that her overhead from her LD provides good stuff as well. So to Garnet, it provides elemental weakness, brave damage up, HP damage up, stolen and gained, max brave overflow up, and brave gains up. But to the party gets elemental weakness, brave damage up, HP damage up, the stolen and gained max brave overflow up, and the brave gains up. So guess what? Even if you don't have that BT effect active, but you have that golden frame buff active, that you are still getting a good amount of stuff from her overhead, that it almost covers up the little bit that you're missing out almost from the if you were to have that BT effect active. So regardless of that, like, and when you look at it as well, her EX is able to enchant the party with the water and thunder brave damage, right? So that is additional damage that you're going to be dealing for your teammates. And with that elemental weakness increase that you have from our overhead, that's just more brave damage that you are going to be capping out with Garnet and the rest of the team. So I really think that just like the overall package that she is actually getting, Garnet's BT is very much worth, especially if, like, say you are in need of a brand new support character, or if you feel like an additional support unit like Garnet with a BT would be good enough for your box, or I guess, like, for your gameplay and whatnot. Like, Garnet is, in my opinion, an excellent choice to pick up if you are still debating whether or not she is actually worth pulling for. Now, some things that were actually brought up towards the end of my live stream that I had earlier tonight was trying to, like, say, talk about like other upcoming BT units, right? Because of course, a lot of people were waiting for luck, but that got pushed for 2 weeks. There are other support characters that are going to be coming up as well that are getting their BT pluses, right? Like Ramza, Kyrian, Yuna, so on and so forth. The thing is though, one thing to note with all 4 of these characters is that you can't fully compare them, because like each of these characters have their own thing. And what you could also do is like put them together in the same team for potential crazy shenanigans for your DPS character or whatever character it is that you're bringing in. So like, say example, like if you brought Garnet and Locke together, and Locke having that defense ignore for the party cannot be broken and is able to recover their HP if they fall below 50%, right? Garnet and Locke together would be such a disgusting combo. It's not even funny because like having that defense ignore for the party on top of what Garnet already is offering just show it's just it's just gonna be insane. It's crazy when you look at it. Like people during the scene were trying to say, not really trying to say, but we're also mentioning Ramza. Ramza with what he provides, depending on the amount of buffs that you have active on your team. And don't get me wrong, Ramza's percentages and whatnot are very good as well. And now with his BT Plus providing max brave cap up and HP damage up is good. But why not have both of them together? You know, when you look at team comps and whatnot, like with Garnet being or having such a supportive role now, and at the same time becoming a very good damage dealer with that BT effect and that gold frame active, like you can do a lot of things with these characters. Kyrian is another one that I was looking into as well. Kyrian provides stolen max brave overflow up, gain max brave overflow up, HP damage up, brave gains up, which is what Garnet provides. And then with his BT Plus provides more brave gains up and max brave cap up. So if you were to like look at these two characters, like, you know, maybe I should hold off until Kyrian. You could, yes, you can definitely could. And this also depends on the overhead that Kyrian has from his LD, if I'm not mistaken. But when you look at it though, even though Kyrian does provide a good amount of auras from his overhead, having both of these two characters together would not be a bad idea at all. Like, don't get me wrong, Kyrian with his BT effect becomes a very powerful supportive character, and at the same time dishes out some very good damage. But having both of these two units together would be such a huge support to your DPS character and just the overall team that you really cannot go wrong with Garnet. Because like I feel like with Garnet, like she provides so much now on top of what she has with her LD, and the fact that she's able to enchant with 2 elements. It's, in my opinion, like, is she actually worth pulling for? I say yes. Like, she will help out brand new players who are starting off. She will help out those that are struggling a little bit with with current content, old content. Like the auras that she actually provides is really, really good. And if you're able to stack the burst effect with that gold framed buff, I mean, you're good to go. What more can you ask for from a character that is providing all of this stuff from just a BT weapon? It's crazy. Now, one thing that I do want to mention before I end this video off is definitely going to be Shinryu era. You know, where the difficulty spikes up for many players, where we have access to force gauge and whatnot. Now, a lot of players may not know, but with the enemy force gauge, if you're not going to be that player who is going to like instantly build up their own FR gauge before the enemy does, and it just straight up destroy the enemy, you know, for those who maybe don't plan to do that, or would rather, or who, let's say, does not have enough gem support for an FR weapon and has to go with just like a normal team, right? I honestly think that Garnet into the Shinryu era would actually be a big plus to have, in my opinion, because if you don't plan on, like, let's say pulling on like the first few FR weapons and you're waiting for like Cam, because I know a lot of players are going to be waiting for Cam with how like hyped up he has become in the community, like having Garnet in your team to go up against like a lot of the reductions that some of these enemies have with their force gauge would actually not be a bad idea to have. I think that with what she provides with her BT effect and the golden frame buff to the party is actually more, I think it's good enough to go up against the reductions that the bosses hit us with their FR gauge and whatnot. I think that Garnet will definitely be a great character to have for Shinryu fights in the future once the Shinryu era drops in June. So even though content may or may not be hard for some players, I honestly think Garnet, in my opinion, is actually worth picking up. Of course, seeing as how this is a BT weapon, if for those who already have an LD but are still waiting for lock, if you really wanted to, you can actually token this weapon for later on. If say you don't get it in the free multis that is coming up, it just really just depends on like if you actually need a support character. If you actually need somebody who is able to do so much in one kit, then you kind of have to base it off of that. If you think you feel comfortable with the amount of support characters that you got going on, then hold off on Garnet. Wait until a later date. See, or if not, just wait until other players, like including myself, who are planning to pull for Garnet, just see how they feel about it after actually using her in fights. So it just depends. It really just depends on what you are actually need. If you actually need yourself if you are needing an extremely solid support character, I really do believe that Garnet is actually worth chasing for with the upcoming 2 weeks of synergy that she has, especially with these banners having a free multi. I really do think that she's actually worth it, and I think she is actually worth it going into the Shinryu era once we hit that come June. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. How you feel about her. Do you think she's actually worth it or not? Do you think she's worth greening? Let me know down in the comment section below. But and again, try to keep things civil. Like I know tension is high right now in the community, but I would like to keep things civil in the comment section for this video. But other than that, though, guys, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you want to add to anything that I have talked about in this video, feel free to do so as well. But other than that, take care. I got you guys in the next video.